Hello.
Hi, I was muted.
How are you?
Good, good. Trying to get my video unblurred.
Oh,
Here we go.
woohoo.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Good to see you.
I know, it's good to see you.
I like this little reunion we've got going on.
Agreed.
Well, just hanging out. Let me grab my phone. I'm gonna get some music. Just a second.
Jessica Beasley in the house.
I'm bummed you're not here Monday.
Dude, I'm so sad. I'm almost thinking about coming anyway, but
Yeah.
it's just like I've got to turn around that Wednesday through Friday and be in Durant for work.
Yeah.
And then straight from there, I go to Dallas for 3 weeks. And it's like, now that I don't have to go to Tulsa, I have to
A little more extra time to
yeah, my
allocate
niece
all of that. Yeah.
is obsessed with this guy named Louis Tomlin or Louise Tomlinson, or I don't know, something. And I have to drive her to Missouri this weekend to go to this concert. And so I'm like, there's so much going on. One day to just stop. I'm not going to get to do my binding session.
Oh,
I'm not coming
no.
to this on Monday after all. My boss canceled our meeting. So I'm just going to stay in Oklahoma City.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
It'll happen. We'll reschedule for July when I'm back again.
It will happen.
Home again.
I packed my rope for my trip to New York.
Yes, nice.
One of my friends was like, I just really want to do it. I was like, I mean, I don't really know about tying, but we'll
We'll
figure
figure
it
it out. Exactly.
out. I'm like,
Yes. You
I mean, I'm
will.
no Brooke, but we'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out.
Well, I know Leslie said that she was going to be joining late. Oh, there's Alex. Hey, hey. Awesome. Welcome. I don't think you can hear us yet.
hey, hey.
So let's get started and take 6 deep breaths together. So take your hand, put it on your heart, get some skin contact if you can find it. Push around and see if you can find the heartbeat. And once you do that, go ahead and shut down the eyes. Connecting to the breath. Noticing what you notice, feeling what you feel. Push the thumb into the chest and inhale. Exhale. Push the first finger into the chest. Inhale. Exhale. Push the middle finger into the chest. Inhale. And exhale. Push the ring finger into the chest. Inhale. And exhale. Push the pinky finger into the chest. Inhale. And exhale. Push all 5 fingers into the chest. Inhale. And exhale. Smile for no reason at all. And then you can open your eyes.
Dream is here.
What's
I
up,
closed
guys?
my eyes, you weren't here. And I opened my eyes and you're here.
Here,
What's up, guys?
Hi.
Alex.
So let's take a second and just like get into the body. And I want everyone to describe the way that they are feeling right now with a sound. So no words, just a sound. Whatever it is that comes up for you is what comes up. So let's go in order here. So
Are we all in the same order?
Yeah, I don't know what order you say.
yeah, sorry about that. Jessica Beasley, do you want to go first?
Okay. That's my sound.
Jessica Ponder. Alex.
Yeah.
All right. Dream.
This is hard. um. That's how I feel.
Perfect. So then now, if you guys are sitting down, I want you to stand up and just give yourself like a little bit of space. And we're just going to take a second just to kind of move in the body. So at the retreat, we just did this like 1% little movement, and we're just going to do that now. Like wiggle your little fingers. It doesn't matter if other people can see you wiggling and getting into 2% and bouncing in the knees, and 4% and 10%. Good. All right, we're all gonna keep moving and we're gonna keep wiggling, but I'm gonna ask you to find a movement that goes with or feels like or describes or explains with no words the way that you're feeling. Find a movement that explains the way that you're feeling. Okay, good.
We're still moving.
Still moving. Okay, bring your 10% to 20%. Thanks for joining, Christian. We're just
Hey, Kristen! What's up, Kristen?
keep shaking. Find a movement that describes how you're feeling. Add some jump. Here, 20.
Kristen, we're shaking.
He might be frozen. I feel like he can't be doing it.
Christian feels frozen.
Yes, there he is.
All right, bring it down. Back to 10%. Good. 5%. 1%. Just keeping some movement. And then I want to give everybody an opportunity to share your movement, be witnessed, and enjoy approaching this with childlike play. You know, when you were a kid and you're like, watch me, look at like what I can do. Like it didn't matter what the thing was, you were just like so excited to share it and to be witnessed. So I want to give you the opportunity to be witnessed. And we'll go in that same order again. So Jessica Beasley, if you'll share your movement that describes how you're feeling.
This is it.
All right, we're all gonna join in with you. Good. Now, do you remember your sound? Okay, good.
What?
3 more. Okay, Jessica Ponder, let's do your movement. Describes how you're feeling. Okay, now let's add in your sound. Okay, Alex, show us your movement that describes how you're feeling. Add in your sound. Dream.
Oh, my movement is like this.
Are we doing like random movements like
Yeah,
integration
just,
dancing?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I was trying to get at this and understand it with like no context. So all right.
Guys, you're right in the middle of it, Savannah.
You're doing the movement that I'm doing and making the sound I'm making, which is like,
Okay, Christian, share us your movement that describes how you're feeling. Savannah, show us your movement that describes how you're feeling.
I'm sorry, someone's at my front door. I'll be back.
Not allowed, not allowed.
All right, awesome. Hold the hands up. Keep them up. This is a perfect one to end on here. And then just tap into the breath. Good. All right, and then you can gently make your way back down to a seat. So thank you guys for joining me in that fun little exercise to just get into the body. I want to ask you guys all a question, and you'll all have an opportunity to share. How has what you experienced at the retreat helped you in just the past week? Like, what's come up for you? What have you noticed that maybe your response has been different, or your reaction, or oh, it looks like Jessica. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Christian.
No. Been really fascinating. Hit me in ways that I didn't. So I've been doing a lot of work around my just how kind of how I look at things and behave and act, and things that I think are part of my are just actually learned or adopted behavior because I've learned to function in society this way. It's how I've chosen, or a lot of it is not beneficial to me, and a lot of it is actually not who I am or my personality. It is adopted behavior that I've learned to, or co-opted to survive, or to what I want, or influence people, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? And not actually my authentic self or who I am. And I always thought that this was part of my personality, and actually it's just part of my ego. And so doing the shadow work that's come up around it, because I left, actually, I had a couple of, that night after the firework walk, I did not feel very good about it. I felt really bad about myself. And I was having a lot of kind of depression, actually, and low self-esteem. And I couldn't quite figure out why, because like nothing really happened. I didn't know why I was feeling that way. And then it hit me. I shared that with you the next day, getting ready for work. It just kind of, I was hit with all this kind of insight. Well, it's grown and bloomed throughout this week, and the universe just keeps more and more and more. And you can rethink that, and you can rethink that is that is your authentic self, or is that just a reaction? Just all these things have started coming up, and I'm just like, whoa, it's like a floodgate. And so this was not what I expected signed up for this event, but it's what's happening, and it's kind of cool. I'm digging it. I'm not quite sure what to do with it or how to adjust it, but it's helping me to look at my actions and the way that I speak in every moment, and sort of question what's going on there. Is this like learned or taught behavior, or something that I've adapted, or is this how I really want to behave authentically in this particular moment? So, or is this just something that I do, you know? So I've been questioning a lot, and it's been interesting.
Thank you so much. So that question of like, I'm not quite sure what to do with all of these insights is a really good question. And I definitely want to address that with everybody after everybody's had an opportunity to share. So the question is just, how has what you have experienced at the retreat helped you, or what have you noticed, or what's come up for you in the past week since then? And you'll have to unmute yourself.
I can share. So I definitely have had a couple of like rough days, like just unexpected, like either disappointment or stress, really, and like seeing a difference in how I managed that. The first one was like, they were both kind of unexpected. The first one was more, I guess, external, like the pharmacy closed before I could get there, and I felt like a bad mom because I couldn't get prescription for my son. He had had his wisdom teeth removed that day. I was really stressed out. Like, I felt like my only option was to like plead with them through like the bulletproof glass and be like, you know, please, like I'm, you know, desperate, basically. I felt desperate. And I kind of like gathered myself and did the breath. Like I like took the breath and walked out. I like didn't cry, which I really wanted to. In that, you know, space, I like got to my car and I was like, okay, like if I can stay calm, I can figure out what my next action is. Like everything is figure outable. And like that really helped me to like, and it was kind of an easy solution. I called the after hours line. They moved my prescription to a place that was still open. I went there. I mean, like it wasn't the end of the world, but like in that moment, in those 10 seconds, I was just like, no, 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 you know, like I was just panicked. And then what is today? Tuesday. Yesterday, I took my cat into the vet and expected to just go home with like an antibiotic, like for what I thought was like a tooth infection or something. And it turns out she's had a tumor under her tongue that's basically inoperable. We ended up having to euthanize her that morning. And I was like, not expecting that at all. I was super upset. So I don't know. I think that normally I would have just like sucked it up and like, you know, gone on with it and like did the things that I had to do or whatever. And I feel like yesterday at least, like gave myself space to like feel sad and like ask for what I needed. I asked for comfort. I asked for a hug. I asked for snuggle. Like, I mean, I just like, I wouldn't normally give myself that, but I like had so much grace for myself in that moment. And like I have needs, and that, you know what I mean? Like, I don't always have to be the caretaker. So that felt good to just like give myself that room to be sad for a day, you know. I'm still sad, but yeah.
I'm so sorry about your cat. That's so
Right.
hard. Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
So the question is, how has what you experienced at the retreat, or any insights that come up for you in the past week, what have you noticed? And when you're ready to share, you can just unmute yourself.
I'll go. Well, I think one of the things is that I've been leaning into the connections, right? Jessica Beasley is doing the sound healing, and we have a situation at the next retreat where our sound healer can't come, and the lady that I facilitate with was like, why don't you just do it? And I was like, okay. And then, and we made this connection there, and it was really like, and I talked to her about it at the retreat, and she's like, sure, you can come over. But normally I would feel I would feel bad, like I'm inconveniencing someone in a lot of ways. And I just thought, if I would have offered, then I would mean that. And so I just accepted it. And I went to her house yesterday or Sunday, whatever day it was, and we hung out and we played bowls, and it was a great time, right? And then Jessica Ponder was coming in town and needed a place to stay. And I'm like, you can totally stay at my house. It's just like, it was great. And I'm all about connections in general, it is, but I feel like I'm more open. And then connecting with Dahi has been great because, again, like we made this connection at the retreat, and we had a situation with the men's retreat, and not having a sitter for the men on the journey day. And I talked with him at the retreat and was like, maybe is this something you're interested in, and he's like, yes. And so we're working through that and, really building the connections. And then another thing is that I bought some of the Sananga, and I had looked online and read about like this 30-day, like you can do it for 30 days and whatever else. And I was like, I'm going to do it. And Alex's face. And so last night I did it. And for a moment I was like, why am I doing this? I'm just like burning my eyes. Like, what is coming from this? Like nothing. Like I'm just like crying, and I'm like, why? And it's not getting any easier. And it's just what it is. But then shortly after that, I was having a conversation with a friend, and I had these like memories drop in from being a kid that I had never, I haven't thought about, or, anything at all. And I'm like, okay, maybe I got some like plasticity coming through, and maybe it's the Sananga, or maybe it's not, but like, okay, I'll continue to do it. Like, here it is. And then today I had a rough day. My boss has been pressuring me to like give him my final day, like give him my notice. And as of like last Friday, I was like, I'll talk to you on Tuesday about it and we'll figure it out. And I talked with him this morning, and I held my boundary, and that's something that sometimes I waver with. And it was just, he knows the situation. There's a bunch of details which don't matter, but there's like, I want to wait until my bonus is in my bank account before they get my notice. Like, that's all there is to it. Like, I just don't want to risk losing that money. It's significant and I need it for what I'm doing. And so I just told him, I'm not giving you my letter of resignation until this happens. And you can wait at that time, until that time or whatever. And he was very respectful. And he was just like, I get it. I totally understand. And it's okay. But also a lot of emotions came up because like having that conversation, I mean, I'm very ready and like beyond ready to leave this job. Like, it's been like this for years where I've wanted to leave, and now it's like, I'm doing it. But this job has been the only like stability, the thing that I've had my entire adult life. Like, I have been at this job for 23 years, and it is the one thing that has just always been there. And starting to write that letter, I was filled with emotion, and I was like, oh, why am I feeling all this stuff, but I allowed myself to feel it. And then I came home at lunch, and I used sage, and I used Palo Santo, and then I Reiki'd myself, and I was like, okay, I'm good to go. And I went back to work and had a great afternoon, and it was fine, And so it's really just utilizing all the things that I've learned at past retreats, at this retreat, and also just the connections. I think it's been great, like meeting the new people. And when you lean into those, it's that synergy. You just find it. If you really stop and look at a person and get to know them and see their soul, and then you find a way that you guys can connect, like something good can come from it. And I think that's the most beautiful part about all of this to me.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
It was a really big move, quitting your job.
It is. It's a huge move. but I'm going to do it. I know it's the right thing to do. It's just, I'm not going to be pressured on the day. You know, you can't tell me when, like, that's all there is to it. So I held that boundary, and that felt really good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So how has what you experienced at the retreat helped you in this past week? What insights have come up for you in the past week? Any changes in yourself that you've noticed? And then when you're ready to share, you can just unmute your mic.
So I will share. I really leaned in really hard to this action without hesitation, right? Like I came out swinging on Tuesday. I was like, I owed my wife this kind of large sum of money, my ex-wife, for a while, and I paid her half of it. And even though I know I have to pay her legally, like it just feels so scary to let go of this money because I don't know, I like work so hard to save it and it's like my safety cushion and now I just have to give it away. So I'd really been avoiding this and like creating this way, like maybe somehow I just won't have to pay. Like maybe, even though I knew I would. But on Tuesday, I was like, action without hesitation. Jess, you just got to pay this money. And I woke up and I just paid the money. And I sent this text message and I'm like, boom, money's in your account. Chapter closed. Adios. Gracias por las lecciones. Thanks for the lessons. And I was like, awesome. Yeah, I'm just going to do all the things. And then there's this, I'm in this Facebook group that I had been like wanting to, like for months, like I'd been like, I should post, I should introduce my, and I hadn't. And I was like, action without hesitation, baby, I'm gonna go make a post. And I made this post and I put like our ice bath and our fire walk and like immediately, it's in this Tony Robbins group and like immediately that whoever works for Tony Robbins like left a comment and it was just like really, it was really affirming to have left this. And then I sign off. Sometimes I check your email and I checked my email and I got this scholarship I had been waiting for this program that I had been wanting to do. And I was like, oh my gosh, when I do action without hesitation, things happen, you know? And I'm like, oh, is this how it is? And I was so excited. And I was like, oh my God, action without hesitation. I'm going to get binded with Brooke. Let me write her, you know? And I was thinking, so I look at like Airbnbs in Tulsa and I was like, oh my goodness, Tulsa's expensive. And I was like, okay, wait, I just made all these friends in Tulsa. I'm going to reach out to one and like, surely someone will host me. Like, I'm a pretty okay person. And I reached out to Dream and Dream is like, oh, I'm not there those dates. And I was like, all right, it's cool because I made like 13 other friends. And then Dream was like, but it's cool. Come stay in my place, even though I'm not there. Like, and I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, we're family. It's okay. You know, you can stay. And I'm like, this is so cool. Like, she's just going to let me come stay at her place. And anyway, it's just like these whole, because like normally I would have just been like, I'm just going to go ahead and pay for this Airbnb because even though I'm the type of person, like all of you that I've said come to my house, I like 100% mean it. Like I know most people aren't like that. So usually I would not just self-invite myself to someone's home. But now I'm just like trying to be braver and bolder with the things that I do. And so that's really been cool because I'm seeing like positive impacts of doing that. And so, yeah, there's been a couple of other things, but it's all been that whole, just do it. Just, yeah, what am I waiting on? I had some things back in my head that like I wanted to do and I just hadn't done. And I just did it and I'm loving it all. And so we'll just keep seeing what happens when you do action without hesitation. That's my whole like focus.
Wow. It works if you work it. Thank you. So the question is, how has what you experienced at the retreat helped you in this past week? What have you noticed? What's come up for you? What insights have you had? And when you're ready to share, you can just unmute your mic.
Yeah, so for me, you know, I think that how long I spent, we all spent present with ourselves. And for me, that was really powerful, how much time we spent in that state, mindfulness state of mind, with having to be expected to do anything and just be. And then process everything, and then also socializing in that state of mind for a long period of time. And it really, like, I've been much more consistently mindful, especially with other people. I feel like my interactions and conversations have been a lot more just genuine and present. And so that's been really powerful. It's been helping me process things a lot more too. You know, so much happened, but like, you know, kind of just keep coming back to the three kind of statements we came up with at the end. And it was, I'll trust myself, I'll forgive, I won't distract. And I've really kept all three of those things, you know, definitely not perfectly at all, but yeah, it's been nice. It's been a nice set of tools to be with. So I mean, I've been able to, that my forgiveness thing, I'm actually having a meeting with the person in the next couple of days to really sort things out. And you know, the distraction thing is still a struggle, but it's definitely better. And I notice when I'm doing it, and just trusting myself and what I'm feeling at any given moment, even if it's not good, you know. So that's been the most powerful for me.
Wow, that is really, really powerful. And I loved everybody sharing their pictures of their bracelets today. That was so awesome.
Yeah.
Nice to have, you know, this little reminder that's just like right there. You can't ignore it. So how has what you experienced at the retreat helped you or benefited you in the past week? What's come up for you? What have you noticed? So when you're ready to share, you can unmute your mic.
I will pony up. So 2 things first. I'm so sorry, Christian, that my dog was obnoxiously barking while you were starting yours. Don't mean to be rude about that, Dad. And then I was like, oh yeah, I can mute myself. So I've been feeling socially anxious about that since then. So now I feel better. And I also have been getting caught up on stuff, and I didn't see until I was like trying to find the thing. So a little late, better than never. Here's my bracelet. Yeah. I know like Jessica messaged me like last week, and she invited me over to the sound bowl thing. I know there's 2 Jessica. Jessica Beasley, which is like Pamela Beasley. But yeah, so I wish that I could have gone to that sound bowl, but you know, kind of like echoing what other people are saying, it's great to have these connections. I am like, little side note, this whole journey has been interesting for me, and I think it's like poetic in its own way how things line up, because I didn't intend to stop my ADHD medication before going on this retreat, but prior authorization issues, so there we go with that. Like the first day that I wasn't on it was actually the day of the retreat. So I am still not on it and am trying to get caught up on stuff. And I actually, you know, having that mindfulness and that intention, and the whole reason why I was actually like going through a prior authorization issue is because I don't like being on this. I want to lower my dosage and like slowly lower it and slowly lower it. And hopefully like my goal is to just be off of it at the end of the year. But until I can get used to things at work, it doesn't really seem feasible and kind of dumb right now. So this whole experience, especially being mindful and going into it with not having these crutches, has been really neat for me, because whenever you're on something, it's so easy to get dependent on it and, you know, think like, oh, I need this. Well, I don't need it. I am incredibly silly and a little bit scattered. I say a little bit, a lot scattered. But yeah, I've really, really appreciated that. And apologies if I have not gotten back to any of you guys with your messages, because I am scattered as all get out, but slowly pulling the pieces back together. I have gotten a lot of this, you know, the stuff that we've worked on in the retreat, and been able to put it into practice with my clients. And that has been one of the coolest things. It's already something that I was using and integrating as far as like, you know, don't think, just try and do. And I've been able to use a lot of breathing exercises along with that. And I think one thing that this is like been more of something that came to my mind is whenever I'm on my medication, I'm a lot more cerebral, or just like, making a lot of connections in my head and not actually feeling things and being as in the moment. So I've been more mindful and been able to pick up on people's body language and pay attention more to their breathing than whenever I'm on my ADHD, can't talk, my ADHD meds. So that's been something that I've really appreciated, being able to integrate the breathing exercises, using them as coping skills, doing them on a consistent basis with people. And, just trying to be mindful and not rely as much on crutches. My next step is to answer more of the messages you guys have sent me, though. Yeah. Did I hit the prompts? I forgot
Yeah.
what you said.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I love hearing like how connected everyone is staying after this retreat. That is, to me, like one of the most special and most exciting things about retreats is making this new group of friends. It's one of the 4 pillars in my program is finding your community. And I think that's one of the best benefits about retreats is like, it's a built-in group of people who are pretty freaking awesome. So I love to hear that you guys are using that pillar of community and making all these awesome connections. Also, I just wanted to say, Savannah, that I was on ADHD medication for 10 years and now I'm running a business and I have not been on it for, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years. And it is absolutely possible, even though it seems like it might be impossible. And I still sometimes feel scatterbrained and I sometimes still feel like there's a lot of pieces of the puzzle, and there are, but with the help of all of these mindfulness tools and techniques, like you can do it if that is your goal. Leslie, do you want to share?
Sure. Yeah, so I along with what Jessica was saying with the acting without hesitation, I was really inspired like with the fire walking, because that was really scary for me. And just like being there that whole weekend, I was just like, God, this is what I want to do with my life. Like, this is what I always want to do. I always want to be surrounded by people that want to do crazy, cool, amazing things and change their lives. And so it's inspired me to create my own retreat, just like a mini, like 1-day retreat, and use my fire spinning as like the fire walking. So I yeah, was kind of inspired to like mush my flow and all of the teachings from the weekend, and kind of like, like make it my own, and turn the ice bath into like a pool. So my husband's landlord, where he's renting his shop, she said that I could host a small retreat on their property, and she has a pool and big open spaces for yoga and a bonfire. And so yeah, I'm really inspired, and like it lit a fire under my ass to like do the things that I want to do and want to share with people and get more people involved. And so yeah, that's what I've been up to.
That is so exciting. I'm so excited for you. I love to hear that. Did anybody else not share? I think everybody shared. Yeah. All right. So one of the things that came up was like, okay, I have these new insights. I've been taking action without hesitation. I've been making connections. I've been checking in with my breath. I've been focusing on the integration and like, what do I do? What do I do with this information? And so I just kind of want to talk about that concept, but first I want you to take a second and imagine, so like everybody's just close our eyes, and what would happen if you could have this deep level of intention, mindfulness, connection to the breath, community, support, badassery experiences? What would your life look like in 12 weeks if you continued having this same motivation that you have right now? And everybody can just kind of shout out some answers. You can all either unmute yourself at once or
Boss asked me.
oh, maybe put it in the chat because I couldn't hear that. And or unmute yourself.
Mm.
Do you want to start adding things?
Either one. Booked out. Awesome. Okay, what else?
Connected.
Unstoppable. Connected. Sales in my big program and retreat. Heck yeah. What else?
Getting my podcast off the ground and my website going.
In what?
What? It's my
What? I missed that, Savannah. We'll come back.
in
I'm very curious. What else? What would your life look like? Heroic. So my question to you guys, fearless, is if you had a magic wand and you could wave that magic wand, what is the one thing that you would want to see come true for you in the next 12 weeks? Have land and a house for my family. Heck yeah.
Mm.
Launch the intensive integration program that I'm working on. Awesome. Have expendable income for my business beyond paying my bills. Yes. What else? Be sure if I want. Finish my certification so I can start leading the circles I plan to lead. Very awesome. Anything else? So let's come back, clear alignment with my goals and my people. Awesome. Let's go back to this question that came up of, like, I'm not quite sure what to do with all of these insights that have been coming up. How do I take those insights and get that to be the leaping pad to get me to launch the program, launch the podcast, have expendable income, be sure of what I want, finish my certifications, have clear alignment. So how do we connect those two dots?
I don't know if this is the answer that you're looking for, but I feel like it's the difference between motivation versus dedication.
Difference between
Like,
motivation.
we're all feeling motivated right now, and motivation doesn't always last. So it's putting motivation into dedication to what we want.
I think that's a really, really, really great and really important concept to talk about in this space is motivation doesn't last. And, potentially what we're feeling in this moment is we're still running perhaps on adrenaline. And so if that adrenaline runs out, then how do we recall and reclaim? And how do we notice, like, oh, I need to re-up on my adrenaline. I need to call on my connections. I need to call on the fire. I need to call on the ice. I need to call on what this experience is to help me be really dedicated towards achieving my goals so that I am unstoppable. So how do we switch from motivation to dedication?
Having a system that kind of does it for you.
Yeah, have a system. Definitely. What else? What are some other ideas?
Having supports in your life that you feel comfortable saying what your goals are so they can help you achieve them, because none of us can do this alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
What else?
I've been making a lot of lists. I don't know if that's the right answer,
Ah,
but
yes.
just trying to like offload like what it is that all the things that need to be done so that I can prioritize them.
Yeah.
I've been like utilizing just Google, Calendar to really put in like, I really struggle with like wanting to keep my personal life and my business life separate. But like now I work for myself. And so there really isn't a separate. I can color code them differently, but like it's all the same 24 hours, And so like really being intentional about like how much time I am dedicating to the business to make things happen. Multiple days this week, things have come up where like my full attention, like an entire day has been lost to personal business. And then I didn't hit my goals to promote or to post or to whatever. And that's going to have repercussions, And so I'm trying not to get caught up in that. Like there's still time. I can make up for it or whatever. But like, that's something that I've really struggled with is, letting myself kind of get distracted into something that there is some kind of like dopamine reward and like getting that other thing done, but it's not necessarily the most beneficial at the end of the week,
So I've heard having some kind of system in place. So figuring out what you need in order for you to move from motivation to discipline. That could look like maybe breath work. That could look like making lists. The system could be figuring out who your support and your connection is. And then, making lists and, kind of making a to-do list, making things on your calendar. That's part of mindset and growth mindset, and knowing like, you know what, like, yeah, I had other things that came up for me, but that doesn't mean that I'm not capable today. Actually, you know what? That's a freedom for me that I wouldn't have had the luxury of that in my previous job. And so now my 24 hours is like exponentially more because I'm the owner of my time. What else?
I think that self-care is one that's really important. You got to make sure and carve out the time, which I think it goes along with the schedules and the lists and that sort of thing, right? But making sure that you're taking care of yourself and carving out that time for the meditation or the breath work, or even just getting a good night's sleep, because I think that sleep is very, I mean, not I think, I know it's very important. And like I haven't slept, I missed, whatever. I stayed up late before the retreats and things. And since I've been back, like I still feel like I haven't had like a full night's sleep. And I'm like, I am running on empty and it is just not okay, and I know that it's the sleep, but it's like I have all these other things to do. And so I'm going to be done with this call and then I'm going to go to bed, like that's on my schedule. Like that's what I wrote in tonight, like go to bed, and I think that's a really important one.
Yeah, totally. And these kinds of things, they fall into the category of integration. It's like learning that I have to take care of myself. I have to prioritize. I'm telling you, my life changed when I started prioritizing sleep. I was a nicer person. It was easier to be more mindful. Meditation was easier because I wasn't so distracted because I had a good night's sleep. So that's totally a piece of the integration puzzle. Anybody else have something they want to add?
So like I'm always
Oh.
this list person, and I'm like always making tons of lists all the time. But then what's really helped me this last week, I think I started the week before and I realized, ooh, this works, is now I actually I have like the 30-day plan and all the things I want to do. So whether it's breath work or read a book dance a little, right? I try to move my body every day, and I actually check out so I see what I do each day, and I try to do all of that. Like that's really helped me. And then actually, because I always have these thoughts and these ideas and this I'm gonna do. But again, like I said, action without hesitation. So that's why I printed up my affirmations and I actually put them on my wall, and like I'm actually like doing instead of just always thinking and dreaming. And so and to follow that, Jessica, what's helped me go from having just the list to the actual doing is having a system where I actually mark off each day what I accomplished and I see it for the month, as it's up with my.
Yeah. I do the list thing a lot. I mean, I live by a list, but also I try to set a timer to stay on something. So it's like an objective, like I'm gonna sit here and do, like, literally when I get to work now, the past few weeks, past couple especially, I say I'm gonna do nothing except just sit here and feel my feelings for 5 minutes. And I set a time for 5 minutes just so I don't feel like I have to do anything. Just make myself sit with it, whatever it is, because I'll just move on to the next thing as soon as, and not really like process what maybe I need to process or whatever. Yeah.
So I want to give you guys like 4 codes, 4 keys, 4 pillars. And think of this kind of like your daily deposits. So the first one is breath work. So this is like, it's the best tool that we have because it is available to us at any time. And we have the 6 deep breaths. As many different stars are in the sky, or as many different kinds of breath work that exist. But at some point every day, like, make a deposit into the bank account of breath work. So that's pillar number 1. Pillar number 2 is calling on your community. So when you're like, I'm not quite sure what to do with this insight, find somebody from the retreat and, go in the list and be like, hey, this thing came up for me. I noticed that this insight, or I felt this way, or whatever it was that I was feeling. And like, can I talk this through with you? Or I need someone to witness me feeling my feelings, or I need someone to co-work with. I have this podcast that I want to start, and I want to go to the library and I want to sit down and I want to work on it for 2 hours straight. Will you meet me at the library? So there's so many ideas that we can have in pulling from our community and building that support network. So number 1 is, which one did I say first? I forgot already. Breath work, community. And then the third one is mindset. And so I'm sure you guys are all probably very familiar with the terms, fixed mindset and growth mindset. But there is a lot more on the topic and on the category of mindsets. Some really cool research that has been done. And I'll just share this one example with you. So Dr. Aaliyah Crum, she was a researcher, I believe out of Stanford, did this research project where she had people come in and drink this milkshake. And she's like, oh, it's like a diet milkshake. It's 400 calories. And then she had them like hooked up to all these machines, and they were like, oh, this is terrible. It's gross. I don't feel full. I'm not satiated. It's the worst. And then also they were measuring what was happening inside the body. Leptin and ghrelin are the 2 hormones that are produced in relation to what we're eating and how full we are and how satiated we are. And so leptin and ghrelin essentially were not released to tell the body that they were full. Came back a month later, they gave them 900 calorie decadent milkshake. Everybody's like, it's amazing. I feel so good. I have so much energy. It was delicious. They're hooked up, leptin and ghrelin, like, yeah. So basically there's a lot of things that this research study showed. First of all, I'll just say it was the same milkshake, if you didn't guess that already. And the only thing that was different was their mindset about what they're eating. So it's like totally just like calories don't matter anymore after learning about this research study. But what you think about what you are doing matters more than your belief in the thing, whatever the thing is. It's going to work as well as you believe it's going to work. So there's mindset is like probably my favorite topic, and I could go on and on about mindset. But that is the third key, the third pillar, is being able to recognize when your mindset has an opportunity for a shift. And then the fourth thing is what we're doing right now, and this is integration, and it is having discussions about what it is that you're learning and not feeling like you just have to be with this on your own. So the secret power of integration is being able to take all of the pieces of the puzzles of the different things that you learn, not just at the retreat, but even just, going to a regular yoga class, or, sitting and doing a meditation all by yourself at home, and then being able to integrate what it is that comes up and being like, oh my gosh, wow, you know what? I'm learning how to be a less reactive person. I'm having a better relationship with my partner. My relationship with my child is different because of all of these little practices that are just kind of like brushing my teeth or working out. So our 4 pillars: community, integration, breath work, and mindset. I would like everybody to just kind of think through, what support do you need in the next 12 weeks to make your magic wand dream come true?
I think I need accountability for, like, I have strategy outlined for promoting and like social media, or even just like networking and like getting out and like, meeting new people, or, going to the healthcare practitioners or the spas or whatever. I have all of it written down, but like taking action, like getting past the hesitation, getting past the procrastination and deprioritization, like there's just every day, like for a solid week, it's been one thing after another where like that has been pushed to the back burner, or I've only hit like 2 out of 5 days on my goals, So I don't know if there's a way to do that like within this group, but some accountability to check in on, I don't know if I'm keeping up with that.
Okay, heard. Thank you. What else?
I posted mine to the group, but I guess Jessica was the only person that got it. I'm a tricky person where it comes to support, because if I ask you to hold me accountable, I'll resent you for it. And if I ask for help, then I won't want, and you'll give it to me and then I won't want it, or I'll use it as an excuse not to do it. I'll rebel. So, but then I'll sit there and say that nobody supports me in anything that I do, and I'll feel sorry for myself. So, I'm struggling with this one because I'm just such a whack job sometimes when it comes to this kind of thing, where I don't know, I'm too complex a character, I think, to.
I think that's incredible insight, and the
Yeah.
fact that you're aware of that is really important, and it gives you the opportunity to maybe say, I think I need to make more deposits in my mindset category, in my mindset pillar.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I mean, it's just really, that's a lot of self-awareness that you just said. And it describes me too. So I get it.
Maybe you guys should be each other's partners.
I'm down. I'm down.
What else?
I was gonna say, because I said what I needed was to finish these certifications so I can facilitate these groups that I have on my mind, right? But the truth is I could facilitate these groups tomorrow. Like, I have all this stuff. Certification doesn't really do anything, right? But what I'm lacking is the confidence. And so I know those ice baths like really made me feel, I think I need like a daily ice bath practice. I need to move to Tulsa and just do ice baths for like 30 days. But really I need like something that makes me that, yes, I can, beyond the action without hesitation, because that's what it all comes down to, the confidence. Even though I know I can, I'm lacking somewhere the confidence to actually do.
Thank you.
You just helped me with mine, actually, because I know what motivates me, and that's when I get excited about something and I get bored. So I'll like just get distracted and I lose interest. So I need people to help me stay excited about things. And I daily ice bath practice, that excites me. Learning how to spin those balls with the fire like you did, that excites me. Like there's just stuff I want to do, you know? And I was like, supporting each other and doing fun things, I'm in on that.
I need to have you all over. I got ice bath right here.
Hey,
Yes, have us over, party at your place.
I got room to do the fire stuff right out back.
I'm down. Honestly, like that's such a smart way, because I think I've been like approaching this like, how hard can I work to make everything happen that I want to happen? But if I actually just like have fun and turn it into play and like keep that motivate, like that energy, like you're right. Like that's a whole different, like I would be more excited to do that than like, you know, make myself do anything. Yeah.
Well, I want to be respectful of everybody's time. This is, I mean, we could keep talking forever. This was such an amazing and a fun group. I'm curious to know if we did like some kind of a 12-week group integration thing, would you guys be interested in doing that together? I don't know exactly what that would look like. But yes.
I could host a group biocharge. We could do a
Yeah.
happiness session.
A happiness. My thoughts just off the top of my head are maybe like around 375, which would be like $30 a week basically. So affordable for sure. And I can pull something together that we can stay in touch. We can, you know, have accountability partners. I don't know. I'm just really rolling off the cusp here. But this was such a special group. And I want to keep the momentum going. And I want 12 weeks to look exactly the way that you envisioned it. When you just were sitting down and you're like, this is my magic wand moment. I want that to happen for you. And I know that the way that that can and will happen for you is if you have the community, if you have the support, if you're in touch with your breath, if you're able to integrate all of these really big lessons and things that you're doing every week. And of course, I'm willing to work with people on the price, but yeah, I don't know, just a thought. I just wanted to throw that out there. I think that
I'd
would
be down for something like that. I think,
cool.
yeah.
So let's end in the same way that we started. Oh, and if we did that, I mean, I know most of us are in Tulsa, but we could meet in Zoom, we could meet in person, we could, you know, mix it up. All right.
I'm sure Ken would be in on that too. I don't know where he is.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not here, but I think he would definitely want to do that also.
Yeah.
I'll send out something in the group chat. So, all right. Any last closing words?
It's
I
just
appreciate you
nice
guys.
to see all your faces.
I'm with you guys again, and whenever I get off of this, I am going to be meeting with my peoples for our podcast website thing. So integration, yeah, dance.
All right, let's take your left hand, place it on your heart. Push the thumb into the chest and inhale. Exhale. Push the first finger into the chest. Inhale. Exhale. Push the middle finger into the chest. Inhale. And exhale. Push the ring finger into the chest. Inhale. And exhale. Push the pinky finger into the chest. Inhale. And exhale. Push all 5 fingers into the chest. Inhale. And exhale. Smile for no reason at all. And then you can open your eyes. All right. I'm so glad that you guys were all here tonight. Looking forward to seeing you guys all again soon. We'll definitely be there same time, same weekend next year for another Oklahoma Fun Fest. Although I will say I felt very motivated and inspired to do some other kind of little retreat, maybe in the fall. So just keep your ears open for something. I don't know. I'm not like 100% committing, but I'll see what I can do on my schedule. So
Just so you know, I've had 5 people ask me about the retreat and when you were going to do it again, because they couldn't make this one, but they were interested in it. And I said, well, I know it's going to be Memorial Day next year. And they're like, well, anything sooner? I was like, I'll keep you posted, but I know she's doing stuff. So
I've had so many people reach out after seeing the videos and photos and being tagged in different stuff. And I'm just over here like, I told you guys. I told all of you guys.
Same. Yeah.
And
There were a lot of people that I had told you that were interested, but because it was over Memorial Day weekend, they couldn't do it. So, yeah, maybe you could pull on those people too.
I would probably end up doing something like the end of September when it starts to cool off again.
Yeah.
you guys don't want more ticks?
What?
You don't want more ticks?
Nope. Ample.
No, thank you.
Like 3 days later, I found one.
I think I've been able to connect with most everybody, like at least one-on-one since the retreat. If we haven't, I want to hear from you. So please call me. Yeah. All right. That's all, guys. Have a great night.
Thank you, Anna. See you guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.